what we have been waiting for. Ooh. Here we go. It has finally happened. It has finally happened. The New York Knicks have gone all in on a trade. They have finally pushed all their draft chips on into the middle, and they have gone in with the Nova Knicks. Mikal Bridges is being traded to the New York Knicks. Never thought I'd see the day where a huge trade between the Nets and the Knicks would happen. And it has happened. And we're going to talk about it. Did the Knicks give up too much? Is it going to handcuff them and bring back Isaiah Hartenstein? We're going to break that all down. Welcome back into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George. If this is your first time here, please subscribe. And if you've been here before, please subscribe. Turn on a notification bell so you are informed when I go live or drop a new video. And hit that thumbs up button for me. Definitely appreciate that. And share this video. Let's share it out. And drop your comments if you're watching this later on. Drop your comments. I read them all, and I appreciate them tremendously. They help me. Let's have a party. I didn't even make a drink yet. I'm still drinking my BK Coke Zero. What an outstanding moment right here. I was just live earlier for 2 hours talking with Foxy about the draft, and we even touched upon the Paul George trade. We mentioned Mikal Bridges for a half second. And I was just like, yeah, but I don't know if the Nets would ever do that. And then we just moved on. We signed off, and 10 or 15 minutes later, this trade was announced by the man himself, Adrian Wojnarowski. He tweeted this out. Breaking news, the Brooklyn Nets have agreed in principle on a trade to send forward Mikal Bridges, who, by the way, never misses games. So this is incredible insurance for what's become our injury-prone front line of Julius Randle and OG Anunoby. So this is why this is such a great move for the Knicks. They traded Bridges to the New York Knicks for Bojan Bogdanovic, 4 unprotected first-round picks, 1 protected first-round pick via the Bucks, and an unprotected pick swap, and a second-rounder, sources tell ESPN. But there's more to this. The Knicks are sending he breaks it down further, 4 unprotected picks to 2025, 2027, 2029, and 2031. A 2025 protected Milwaukee pick, which is protected. It's a top 4 protected pick. A 2028 unprotected pick swap. So that means we would have to be worse than the Nets in the 2027-28 season for them to even want to swap with us. And a 2025 second round pick for Mikal Bridges, and a 2026 second round pick. But I think the Knicks are getting one of those second round picks. I think he kind of doesn't have that quite correct. Welcome into the house. We got Big Task. What's up, brother? Conor, JTA. Are you guys psyched? How psyched are you guys? Come on, let's see the fire emoji in the chat. I want to see that. I want to see the passion. And hit the those emojis there, the hearts and all that shit. They love that at YouTube. And I haven't been on the air in over a month. Today was the first time I was on, and so this is incredible. You know what? Maybe we brought them luck. Let's see. All right, man. This is quite a moment in Knicks history right here. This is completing the set. The wild card the Villanova Wildcats set, bringing in Mikal Bridges, who won 2 NCAA championships with Jalen Brunson and with Josh Hart and with Dante DiVincenzo. This is an outstanding moment. He's a seamless fit. We're going to get into all of that. Let's keep going with these news updates here. We got So New York Basketball tweeted this out, NBA_New York, excellent account. The Knicks get Mikal Bridges and 1 second-round pick in 2026. The Nets get Bojan Bogdanovic, 4 unprotected Knicks picks, 4 Knicks unprotected picks, the 25, 27, 29, and 31. The 1 protected Milwaukee first in next season to 2025. 1 unprotected pick swap in 2028. And 1 Knicks second in 2025. So that's a hefty price in picks, but we give up. I mean, Bojan was going to get traded no matter what. So we don't give up actual players on this team right now. And that continuity is going to benefit us going forward. However, I will say this. This is probably just the first of another major move. This is probably part one. There's probably a part two move coming. Or this is like the major move, and there'll be several other little moves to fill the roster out. And there's others. Let's keep going. Let's keep going here. So this is going to be the Knicks rotation for next season. As right now, everything stays as is right now. However, bringing back Isaiah Hartenstein might be a big challenge. So that's the one thing on here that may not occur. But a starting unit of Brunson, Bridges, OG, and Julius, plus either Isaiah Hartenstein or Mitchell Robinson, or, well, it'd probably be Mitchell Robinson if Isaiah Hartenstein's not on the squad. And then off the bench, we got Deuce, Dante, Josh Hart, and then there will be other guys that we bring in. We probably signed maybe Gogi Batazzi, the center from the Orlando Magic. He would be an interesting acquisition. It does hamper us with the aprons. I'm not a draft guru. I mean, a salary cap guru at all. So going to rely on other people to fill in those gaps. I've been reading various things that if we include Daquan Jeffries and Diakate, then we would be hard capped at the second apron. But if we don't, we'll be hard capped at the first apron. So I'm not sure what the advantages are or disadvantages, but we have Brock Aller, who is a wizard at this stuff, and Leon himself. So I'm sure they're going to work out. They've already got it played out. They've already got it worked out what they need to do. Am I hyped? Yeah, I'm incredibly hyped. I'll tell you why I'm hyped. Because right now, you add OG to this picture. We have one of the best defensive wings in the NBA right now. And guess what? Who's standing in our way? The Boston Celtics. So right now, we can put on the floor OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, and they can do their best they can to smother Tatum and Brown. And then we got Brunson to make them pay. Now they got to hope that Drew Holiday can keep up and bother Brunson enough. And then if Julius is still on this team, because he might be the other trade, something else might happen, guys. Stuff's still going to happen. But if Julius is still on this team, they don't really have anyone to contend with Julius. They're going to put Al Horford on Julius. Who are they going to put on Julius there? They're going to put KP. I guess KP could bother him to some degree, but in the end, Julius is going to feast. He's going to get his. So the Knicks just put themselves in a situation, and I was of the camp. I already believed that the Knicks actually had enough to compete with the Celtics, at least get to a Game 7 with them in the Eastern Conference Finals. But now with this move, I am 100% convinced the Knicks are probably, I would put the Knicks as the favorites to win the Eastern Conference right now. That's where I'm at with this. That's how happy I am with this. Because also you got to think about the synergy that those four guys have and how the other guys on the roster are going to fit in with this. This is an outstanding move. This was a dream situation for us. Now, is Mikal Bridges a superstar? Is he a 1A or 1B? No, but guess what? We have a 1A, and his name is Jalen Brunson. What Mikal Bridges is one of the most outstanding two-way players in the NBA, the most outstanding two-way wings in the NBA. He can shoot the three. He can his switch ability off the charts. He can guard 1 through 4, definitely. And we have another guy, OG Anunoby, who can guard 1 through 5, by the way. So we are so set right now. And we still have Dante DiVincenzo, who was the third, who made the third most three-point shots in the NBA last season, and he's coming into his prime. Brunson coming into his prime. Mikal Bridges coming into his prime. This is, I mean, what more? This is perfect. This is perfect. There was a window that was opened. It opened this season for the Knicks, and it was probably going to stay open a little bit for next season, before, the Victor Wembanyama situation starts taking off, and, the West has some interesting teams, but the East also has some really good young teams that are up and coming. So this was the time to strike, and the Knicks did it, and they have put themselves into a position where they are serious contenders for the Eastern Conference crown, and most likely the NBA crown. So drink that in. So the next year, the 2024-25 New York Knicks will probably go in as one of the 4 favorites to win the NBA championship. What more could you want, guys? We've been waiting for this for over 50 years. This is it. I am so happy that Leon finally did something like this. This was the time. This was the moment to do it. Wow. Unbelievable. Hey, we got Adrian Reality. What's up, man? Justin Bucano, John Rover. Come on into the house. Let's chop it up. You guys are freaking hyped. Yes, man. Absolutely. This is fantastic. Let's check this out over here. So Adrian Wojnarowski also tweeted this out. The Knicks are still determined to keep OG Anunoby in free agency, sources tell ESPN. But the ability to re-sign center Isaiah Hartenstein becomes more difficult now. The Knicks are loading up on wings to match up with the NBA champion Boston Celtics. There it is. So Isaiah, if we can't bring him back, it will hurt. Not gonna front nothing. It will hurt. I love the way he played with the Knicks, how he modified his game and how he just kept improving. He did suffer some injuries here and there where they kind of compromised him at times, but the way when he stepped up and filled in for Mitch when he got hurt, we couldn't have asked for more. And he's going to get the bag. He's probably going to get about $20 million a year. The one thing I'll say, if he wants to win a championship, he may want to come back to the Knicks. Maybe he comes back on a short deal. Maybe that's a way to do it. Bring him back on a short deal. I can see what Woj is saying here, that it becomes more difficult to bring back Isaiah. But I have a feeling that Leon is still planning on trying to make that happen. And if he can't make it happen, then there'll be a backup. There's definitely a backup plan. The other thing is the Knicks, according to NBA Central, the Knicks still own the 24th and 25th picks in this year's draft. So it says Leon is cooking. So here we could then maybe, if Ryan Dunn is there at the 24th pick, we're going to grab him. No doubt we're going to grab him. And then if we do miss out on Hartenstein, we probably will use the 25th pick to fill that backup role to back up Mitch Robinson. So there's guys like Kelly Ware, but I'm not excited about him. But maybe like a Zach Edey. I mean, the guy is a tremendous offensive player. Doesn't shoot the three, but he's huge. He can dunk on his tippy toes. He's a winner. He's a very athletic, humongous guy. He would be an interesting guy to bring in. But they're going to solve the problems, the deficiencies in the roster through the draft right here, man. We got Lee Thomas. What's up, brother? Hey, Alex Nader. Good to see you, man. Taka, what's up? The Nova Knicks in the house. This is outstanding. This is an outstanding situation here. Let's see what we got here. So, Knicks Muse tweeted this out. The Knicks still have 5 first-round picks in the next 3 NBA drafts. Yes. And Jonathan Wasserman tweeted out below, interesting to see how Knicks trade and Hartenstein's free agency affects their draft tomorrow. If going big is priority, would likely need to move up for Edey or Missy, cross fingers for Ware or Holmes, or consider Bona. I like Bona. Bona would be also a really good steal, honestly, a backup big for the Knicks. Let's see. I mean, it's so many options here. Let's check in on other tweets. What's going on here? Before I do that, let me jump back over here. All right, Lex, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Look at this. Can you believe this? I am shocked. So, one thing I want to know from you guys is, let's say the Knicks can't bring back Hartenstein. I want to hear from you guys. Who do you? What should the Knicks do? What kind of pivot? Is it bringing in some other free agent center who's already in the game, or is it looking at the draft to fill that role, because obviously Mitch would become the starter, but we need someone to come off the bench as a center, because I don't believe that the Knicks believe that Jericho Sims can replace Isaiah Hartenstein on this roster. The role that he played for us, I don't think they believe that. And there's lots of evidence to support that feeling. Let's see here. Just checking to see if there's any other information. Man, I'm shocked. I am shocked. I'm shocked. I'm not shocked that a big trade happened. I kind of expected it. I even said it when I was doing the draft live with Foxy. I said tomorrow something big could happen. But I was thinking maybe that Paul George rumor, because I really did not think the Nets were going to be smart enough to just eat crow, and they got a good deal from the Knicks. They got in essence they got picked up 6 first-round picks. That's a boatload of picks. Now they're going to be lower value picks. Because the Knicks are going to be, one of the best teams in the NBA for at least another 4 years, at least another 4, maybe even 5 years. So those picks that they got in there, those first, so like the Milwaukee pick is probably going to be a 20 to 30 type pick. They have our 2025 pick. It'll probably be, 25 to 30. So these aren't going to be like lottery picks or anything like that. And like something catastrophic would have to happen for like the 2027 pick to be worth something. And the same with the 2025, 2027, 2029, and 2031. So, but still, it gives the Nets some draft capital. You can always find good players. You can bundle those picks, maybe trade up in the draft. So the Nets did themselves a favor. And also the story is that Mikal Bridges went in and told the Nets about a week ago, is what I heard, about a week ago, that he really wanted to be traded to the Knicks. Now, they didn't have to do anything because they have him signed for 2 more years. However, he said, if you do that, I will tell the other team that you are trying to trade me to, or inform them that I would prefer to be a Knick. Meaning, when he does become a free agent in 2 years, he'd come to sign with the Knicks. So, the Nets avoided that headache. I don't know who called who first, but I did hear early yesterday that the Knicks were monitoring the Mikal Bridges situation with the Nets. So they must have heard about this. The grapevine, back channels, Leon being an ex agent himself, knows how to work the phones. And he got the info. He knew that this guy wanted to come here, and the Nets suddenly they basically had changed their mind, and they made a smart business decision for their franchise. The Knicks had to wow them to get him. Now, is he? I mean, who am I even going to compare him to? There's just so few superstars right now that are making moves right now. Other than like James Harden, but look, he's past his prime. Paul George would have been definitely a fabulous addition to this team, but he comes with a huge salary, and he's 34 years old, so he'd be like 38 by the end of the contract. So there was pluses and minuses, but I was willing to do it because I want us to go all in for next season to win it all, and now the Knicks have done it. Now, he doesn't carry a team, but he can carry a team. There are times where he can. So he's such a great fit. And he's going to prosper under Tom Thibodeau's coaching. And Thibs is going to love him on top of that. What else we got here? We might, John Roberts said, we might have to trade Mitch and let Hartenstein go and draft 2 centers. I don't think we have to get rid of both of them to bring back OG. That's not what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is they'll have to. It makes it more difficult, like I said before, to bring back Isaiah Hartenstein if you're going to extend OG Anunoby. So we'll see. I really would like to see Hartenstein stay on this team. So in that respect, maybe it's Mitch that gets traded. That might be the next big move. Now I'm thinking it through. What if Mitch what if Mitch is packaged and he's moved for picks to make up for the picks we just lost to the Nets, and we bring back some kind of salary that we can easily dump, and then we can just slot Isaiah Hartenstein in there. But here's the problem I have with that, guys. There is another team in the East that the Knicks have to contend with or deal with, and that's the Philadelphia 76ers. Embiid really hurt Hartenstein. Embiid had his way with Hartenstein. Hartenstein doesn't have the physicality to deal with a guy like Embiid, or even a Joker. If we get that far, if Denver's the one who's or even an Anthony Davis, the guy who does is Mitch Robinson. When Mitch Robinson checked into that Philadelphia 76ers series, it forced Embiid to try harder, to try to do things that he wasn't ready to do, because physically he was also compromised. And that's when he did that bounce the ball off the backboard and slam it, but then he kind of re-injured himself a little bit. And that's why he got dirty. He was punching Mitch in the nuts. He was rolling over on his ankle. He was doing everything he could to get Mitch off the court, because Mitch was the one guy who had the physicality and the athleticism and the ability to understand what it is that Joel wants to do on the court and stop him. And he actually did it. So that's one thing. If we get rid of him, we're going to have an issue when we play the Sixers, especially if the Sixers turn around and make the move for Paul George. So those are all the things we have that need to be considered right here. But this is a great, great moment for the New York Knicks franchise. This is a great moment for the fans. I mean, this is just... This is a dream scenario, guys. This is a dream scenario right here for me personally. I've wanted Mikal Bridges ever since he came out. I mean, since he became a pro. I was pissed that we didn't draft him. I think that was the year we drafted. Was that Knox or Frank? One of those two. I wanted Mikal Bridges so badly. We just let him go. Another great wing that we could have had, like Donovan Mitchell. I wanted Donovan Mitchell. We didn't draft him either. Exactly. Yes, Marquise. Love this trade. A two-way player who can score. Beautiful. And he's a multi-level scorer as well. Can shoot the three. Can drive to the hoop. Has a good mid-range game. Very, very similar to OG Anunoby. Very similar. So now Knicks are going to have two monster defenders who are also really good scorers on the other end. The pressure that this team is going to put on the rest of the league is phenomenal right now. Right now, this is sending waves everywhere. Teams are going to start making. I guarantee you by tomorrow, well, definitely by tomorrow at this time, there will have been a bunch more trades. The first round of the draft will be over. I don't think Paul George will be where he is right now with the Clippers. For all we know, man, what's Milwaukee going to do? What's Milwaukee going to do now? Also, that's another player. That's another guy. So Milwaukee, Hartenstein on Giannis. That's a tough matchup. But Julius has had some decent defensive games against Giannis. We're kind of even with him. Mitch, I haven't seen Mitch play Giannis in quite a while because of injuries and stuff. But Mitch could probably, a Mitch who's fully healthy and in his optimal shape, can definitely deal with a Giannis. He's not going to stop him, but he can slow him down. But what are the Bucks going to do? They can't stand still, so they're going to make some moves. Now, in the Celtics, the Celtics are going to try and do some counter moves now, especially now. Look how much taller we got. Because the two guys on the ends of this image, they're not going to start now. Mikal Bridges is going to start at the 2 in place of Dante. OG is going to start in place of Hart. And then we have Julius Randle, and we have Mitch Robinson or Isaiah Hartenstein as our center. That is a big, big backup. 4 big guys backing up our tiny point guard Jalen Brunson. He's not even that tiny, but he's small. He's a small point guard, and defense isn't his calling card. That's for sure. Steve Popper of Newsday tweeted out, by the way, I'll give the Nets credit for this. Oh wait, let me just go here. Where is it? Oh, that's weird. He says, I'll give the Nets credit for this. For a team far off, it made little sense to cling to a we don't trade with the Knicks philosophy. Get the most you can, anywhere you can, and they certainly did that. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Let's see. Oh, this is something else I want to show you guys. This is hilarious. Hilarious. Oh, no, I forgot to put it in. But anyway, I'll put it this way. Go back here. So Josh Hart tweeted this out. It's Josh Hart. They FaceTimed each other. Josh Hart, Dante, Mikal, and Jalen Brunson, Dante, Mikal, and Josh Hart. And they're like, what? What? Unbelievable. What a fantastic moment, man. This is... If you're not hyped after this happening, man, I don't know what it'll take. I don't know what it'll take. Getting LeBron from 10 years ago, maybe? That would hype you guys up more? This is unbelievable. What a great moment. What a great moment. Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining me here. If you guys haven't hit the thumbs up button for me, please hit that button. Okay, this is what I want to hear about the cap. This is some of the stuff I want to see about the cap. Here's the thing for the Knicks and hard caps and all that. They have one of the best salary cap management teams in the NBA. They'll figure out a way to make it all work. Might cost them another pick or two in subsequent trades, but they will make it work, according to Keith Smith, NBA. And he's someone who knows his shit about the cap and the CBA and whatnot. Brooklyn got a haul. They definitely did. But remember, Lex, none of these are going to be lottery picks. So it's not like, we'd have to get lucky, and then what are we waiting for? This is our time, is to win now. This was the moment to make that move. Stephen Bondi's like, I pushed for this and I'm still shocked. Didn't think the Nets would acquiesce. All right, he tweeted. I remember when he tweeted this out. A pitch to trade for Mikal Bridges may take on the All-Star debacle and a Julius Randle consideration. The fact that we did not have to include Julius into this is a big plus for the Knicks. I would say that was a huge win for us. Because now Knicks, they're not gonna sign him. They're not gonna give him an extension this year. They can bring him back. Let's say we bring him back. We don't include him in another trade. And now we have one of the top power forwards in the game. When we need that physicality, we can go small ball, have him play at the 5, and bring in Josh Hart or Dante. So then it would be Brunson, Dante, Mikal, OG, and Randall. That would be a nice small ball lineup. And then you can either swap out Hart for OG to give him some minutes. But look about all that flexibility, all that switchability. Beautiful. Thibs has got to be an incredibly happy man right now. Got to be. Let's see. See if there's any new news. What's up, Jesse? Can you believe this shit? No, man. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's right, Marquise. His durability. That's the I earlier when I led with this, I talked about his durability being so instrumental for this team that now has Randall, who's coming back from a shoulder surgery, and we don't know how that's going to go. And then there's OG, who is somewhat, he is injury prone. So this guy, not at all. He hasn't missed a game as a pro. He has not missed a game as a pro. So now we got tremendous insurance for if one or two of those other guys, go down. But in this situation, this was the perfect type of player to bring in on a team that definitely has been hit hard by injuries as of late. That's a funny one. Man, let's see here. What else do we got here? Knicks are still determined to get that. Yep. Mikal Bridges on his mindset before the 2018 draft. He said, "I thought I was going to New York at number 9. I was excited because I wanted to go to the Knicks. I wanted to be in New York. I'm like, that's lit, and I love MSG." Now he got his dream. He made this trade happen. Mikal Bridges went to the Nets and told them he wanted to be a Knick. He made it happen. Wow. Who would have thought those days would come now? Tremendous. Tremendous. Let's see what else there is here. Might be missing. Let me pull up Mikal's stats. Mikal's stats and his contract. I'm not even sure what his contract is. I wasn't prepared for this at all, guys. He's 27 years old. Let's see here. Mikal Bridges. Okay. Let me go back over here. How are you guys doing in chat? Thank you guys for joining me here today. This is an outstanding, monumental moment. If you missed my whole opening rant, just go back and check it out. I was quite excited to say the least. Let's see here. Let's get this guy on here. Here we go. All right. Bring this in here. The New York Knicks are now one of the bona fide championship contenders in the NBA. How do you like them big fucking apples? That is awesome. How do you like that, Knicks fans? Huh? Are you down for that? This is an outstanding moment. This is a legendary moment for the Knicks. Look at this. They just got a guy who has never missed a game as a pro. Last year, he played 82 games. Yeah, look at this. Unbelievable. He averaged for the Nets last season 19.6 points a game. Let me get this up here. He averaged 19.6 points a game. Let me make this a little larger for you guys. Sorry about that. There we go. Now we're cooking here. Here we go. He shot last year was his worst field goal percentage season since his rookie year. He shot 43.6%. But before that, for the Nets the season before that, when he was traded to the Nets, he shot 47.5%. 46.3%, and then when he was in Phoenix in 2021-22, he shot 43.4%, 44.3% in his third year, and from the three-point line, he shot 42.5%, 36.9% the season after that, 38.7%, and then 37.6% with the Nets when he got traded to them, and then 37.2% on 7.2 three-point shots attempts per game, which is a good volume. 37.2% on 7.2 attempts per game is very, very good. And then when you look at his free throw shooting, the man is a career 85% free throw shooter. Fabulous. He's averaged 4 rebounds per game, 2.6 assists. He's a pretty decent shot blocker, though. It's not his style of defending, but the guy gets steals. He's averaged 1.2 steals per game, and then on the other end, we have OG, who's tremendous at picking up steals. And then we got Josh Hart, And then we got Dante. So we got guys with active hands now, where that was one thing 2 seasons ago. It was a problem. You guys all know I love RJ and all that stuff, but look, RJ struggled with creating turnovers. We needed him to become more active like that. And he did pick it up a bit, but not like the level like a Mikal Bridges is doing it right now. And then on top of that, Mikal Bridges' size. He's 6'6", but he's really closer to 6'7". He's a bona fide small forward. He can guard a point guard all the way up to a power forward. Man, we are sitting so pretty right here. Let's see, what else is there to look at here of note? That's regular season stats. Yeah, he attempted almost 600 3-pointers last season. I expect this number right here, this 37.2% right here. I expect this next season playing. Remember, that's on a bad Nets team, on a Nets team that really couldn't get their act together. I think with guys like Brunson and OG on that unit, and he'll be playing with Dante a lot of times, and with Julius, who creates a lot of attention on the offensive end from the defenders. That 37.2, he's probably going to average 40% next season, and probably at that similar volume that he had. So we got ourselves a player. Woohoo! This is fucking awesome. I'm almost like I almost can't believe it. I just can't believe it. It's crazy. It is utterly insane. Utterly insane. Fantastic. Now this is the downside. In case you guys missed this from earlier, Knicks are still determined to keep OG Anunoby, which is good, in free agency. Sources tell ESPN, but the ability to re-sign center Isaiah Hartenstein becomes more difficult now. The Knicks are loading up on wings to match up with the NBA champion Boston Celtics. Yeah, but look, you can't have everything. You can't have everything. However, that said, as I showed earlier, what Keith Smith was saying, he believes that the Knicks do have a chance to be able to pull it off and bring back Mr. Hartenstein. And the other thing is, Hartenstein probably wants to come back. You know, why would he want to not come back to this team now? This team just got much, much better. And they were one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals. And they were down OG, no Julius, no Mitch. You know, why wouldn't they want to come back? So there is a good chance that he may, decide, I'll take a salary hit right now, but maybe it's just a 2-year contract, a 2+1, where the third year is a player option. To safeguard against any injuries or anything like that. So a 2+1, and it's just that could work depending on what the Knicks could do with some of those other contracts that are still hanging around. Let's see what else we got going here. What we got here. Just trying to see if any other news just broke out. But no. Let's go back and look at this. So, let's say Keith Smith is correct. And Leon and Brock already have it figured out how they can hold on to their 2 centers. This would be the Knicks rotation for next season. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, and Isaiah Hartenstein would be the starting 5. Right there, that is one of the best starting 5s in the entire NBA. Deuce McBride, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, and Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench. That is that top 9 stacks up with anyone, anywhere, any night. OMG is 100% correct. Knicks Muse. That is what we're talking about here. And I don't think we're done. I don't think we're done. Mentioning Dunn, Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn, who is, the way Foxy was talking about him, and I totally agree with him about it, he could be a generational type defender. This guy is outstanding defensive talent, and he could totally slot in. Remember, there's always going to be injuries, there's always going to be missed games, and there's going to be opportunities for him to learn, but not have too much pressure on him. He could be an amazing draft pick for us this season. This is really exciting, guys. This is so exciting. And remember, we got Rokas. Rokas is out there. He might also be someone who could probably come in, because the one thing that second unit will be missing is a playmaking point guard. Deuce has gotten better at that. He could definitely score and everything, but he's not quite he doesn't really hold it down for us in point guard. If he does work on that this summer, he's got to tighten up his handle a lot more. That's what's really keeping him down, is the handle. And his court vision is a little bit compromised. He's the shortest guy out there, even though he was a really good quarterback in his past in football. His lack of height does hurt him a bit here. However, maybe he does make another leap, and maybe he can just take over that IQ role completely, where he can just come in and just spark the second unit. But at this time, that's a TBD. So maybe a guy like a Tyus Jones could be an interesting pickup, or someone like Rokas is interesting, or someone in the draft. Tyler Kolek. Who else? If Jared McCain drops, but he's more of a combo guard. We talked about all this. If you haven't checked out the draft video, you should definitely check it out, especially since round one is tomorrow. Rumors: Philly is going after OG the beer. Yeah, they're gonna try. But at this point, I don't think they're gonna be able to. Remember, here's the thing: the Knicks can go to 5 years. That's the big difference. Other teams can only offer 4 years. So that's the big difference. And the other issue is the Sixers it would probably be smarter for them to go after Paul George, because he also can be more of a playmaker himself. He can run the offense at times to give Maxey a break and Embiid a break. Paul George would be a better fit for the Sixers than OG Anunoby, in my opinion. Jesse asked, George, if this is what happens every time you make a draft preview, you need to make one every day, because you could get rid of that. I know. I couldn't believe it. Signed off, go to get some water, and then it was Keese and JD were like, congratulating me on this live stream, because I haven't done it and gone live in over a month. They're like, oh, great stream. And then, boom, they're like, wow. Like within a second later, this just happened. Totally blew my mind. I'm sure it's blowing everyone's minds here. Let's see what else we got. I could also see the Knicks packaging the 24th and 38th pick to move up, to pick up, like we were talking about that, to pick up Ryan Dunn. Let's say with the Lakers, the 17th pick. That could be a legitimate situation. Paradise Law says Knicks are the only hope to beat Celtics at this point. But Bucks are going to do whatever they can to improve. Sixers are going to do what they can to improve. Miami Heat's going to improve. Who else? The Hawks, even though they're way down, they're going to try to improve. The Pacers are going to try to improve. So we couldn't stand still. We had to do a move like this season. This was the season to do it. We got incredibly lucky in the free agency signing of Jalen Brunson, who turned out to be one of the best free agent signings of all time in terms of value and what he brought, what he became. Unbelievable. So he's second team All-NBA. I mean, that's a free agent signing. That's fantastic. That just doesn't happen that easily. So I think in this situation, the Knicks are sitting pretty. I kind of lost my train of thought there, but man, I'm so hyped. Let's see. We got McBride, DiVincenzo, Hart, Achua. Achua is probably gone, unless it's a sign and trade situation. See, that's the thing that might happen. There might be a sign and trade situation out there with Achua, Mitch, and Deuce, and maybe a pick. There might be something like that out there. So it's going to be, I mean, the next I was saying earlier the next month is going to be fascinating. It's totally going to be fascinating, but I'm telling you, the next 72 hours are going to be crazy. So get ready. And then free agency begins on Sunday. Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, free agency officially begins. And if you remember how it was the past few seasons, instantly guys signed big contracts. There were big moves. There were signing trades. There were deals. So get ready for all of that. Yeah, Achua will have to be renounced unless, like I was saying, if there's some kind of sign and trade deal. But that would have to happen within the next 72 hours, I believe. So, yes, Lex. OG and iHeart can take a pay cut. You know, I mean, OG's going to make bank no matter what. It's going to get so much money. I'm telling you, iHeart could do a 2+1 type thing. He's only 24. I think next year he's going to be 25. He definitely could be someone who would consider that because he loves playing in New York. His wife, I think, loves New York as well. And if Mitch sticks around, you know, they're besties. And he has such great chemistry already with the current squad that they have right now that once just adding this guy is just going to be an extension of what he's already working well with. So his life would be it would be very rewarding for him to choose the Knicks, and then we go on and win it all. That's the plan. That's the plan. Hartenstein, $16 million. He could, yeah. I mean, yeah, because I don't think he's going to get more than $20 million per year anywhere else. So, I mean, for $4 million, you're gonna leave a possible championship on the table. Seems hard to believe, honestly, especially knowing his character. Yeah. Let's see what some people are tweeting out about Mitch. All right, nothing here. I think this was just a big shock to the system. The NBA system. All right, are you guys with me on this? Do you guys legitimately believe that the New York Knicks are now the biggest threat to the Boston Celtics? I'm going to create a little poll here. Now, Boston's biggest threat. Crank up the music a little. Crank this up. Buck Boston. Oh, man. So OG 180 million for 5 years. Yeah, I think that probably would be the floor. He might go for it. Maybe with some incentives, maybe unlikely incentives, to get it up to 192 million. I was hearing more 190 in that range for 5 years. But as the cap is going to increase, here's one thing. So somebody from CBS, I think it was CBS Sports, put this out. Let me find it again. It was a really good article about Paul George's impact to the cap. I hate when I do that. But anyway, here's the point. The point is this. Once the new TV deal kicks in, it's going to, because this guy says, it is CBS Sports. He says, here's an example. Say hypothetically Paul George were to sign a 4-year max contract with the 76ers this offseason. that contract would obviously be expensive, and it would obviously carry meaningful risk given his age and injury history. On paper, he would be earning more money each season. In practice, he would be earning a lower percentage of the projected cap each year. Here's how the numbers look. In the upcoming season 24-25, he'd make $49.3 million, which would be equal to, on a projected salary cap of $141 million, he'd make about 35% of the projected salary cap. But that cap is going to rise because it's compounded annually. It's going to rise 10% over the next 4 years, 5 years even. So the next year, it would go to $155.1 million would be the projected salary cap. The next is year 2 of Paul George's contract, which he'll be making $51.8 million. But that drops to 33.4% of the total cap. Then, by his final season, he'll be making $56.7 million, which is a crazy, amazing amount of money. He'll be 38 years old then. But by then, the projected salary cap will be $187.6 million. So that's 46. The salary cap in the next 4 seasons will increase $46.6 million in total. So even though Paul George will be making $7.4 million more annually in that year 4, it'll only be 30% of this projected salary cap. So 5% less. So it's all about relative money in this situation. A similar thing could happen with OG Anunoby. So let's hope. Let's hope. We got here, yes, I love it. I love the confidence of us. To me, I can't wait, man. I cannot wait for the season to start. Yeah, we pay the tax. The thing, the problem is not so much the tax. And that's why they've done it this way. It's not so much the tax. It constrains you from trades. So you can't take in more money or send out more money. Everything has to be exact. You can't aggregate players. So let's say, like the Paul George situation, you can't put Julius and Mitch, ship them to the Clippers in return for Paul George if you are hard capped on the first apron. And then the second apron, you lose you lose like the non-trade player exception. You lose some other you lose a lot of flexibility is what it is. So you're locked in. But by the 2026-27 season, the salary cap will have risen $29 million. So then the flexibility returns. So you were once hard capped, then you fall under, and you get some flexibility again. But remember, this is just me, my crude knowledge of this stuff. I'm sure what Brock Aller and Mr. Leon Rose has got in the works, they probably already have a way to deal with that. Man, fabulous. All right. You guys have any questions for me right now? Anything? PG can go to Philly as long as we keep OG. That's a great point, Lex. And that's a great point. Yeah. Coach Syr617 said, we paid tax for Joakim Noah. We can pay for this. Yeah, we did, man. We want the ring. And with this team at this young, everyone's ages are aligning very well. If the chemistry is there on the court and we're able to pull off a championship run next season, like the way Boston did it this season, I don't see why we couldn't repeat that. The next year after or the year after that with a reinforcement here and there. Maybe Ryan Dunn develops a nice 3-point shot because it does look like his offensive game has a lot of potential upside. And we already know he'll be basically an all-defensive type caliber player. Man. And who knows? An OG Anunoby, he could have another level in his game. what I saw from him when he was healthy on this Knicks team, the way he could just take the ball from the arc, drive, dunk over guys. His mid-range game was outstanding. Not that we want to lean into that, but it's there. It's a safety release valve at those times when plays break down and there's just not enough time to get to the hoop. Because we do have guys, Brunson does, pound the ball. Julius pounds the ball. So there's guys like that. So guys like OG who can hit that midi like at like an elite level. Same with Bridges. It's fantastic. But OG might have another level to his game, to his offensive game. I could totally see that. Like we saw with Dante. Dante this season, he shifted up. I mean, he was knocking on the door of being one of the elite three-point shooters in two guards in the NBA at this point. He did run out of gas in the playoffs, but look at him. He stepped up huge several games for us when we needed it. Oh man. Let's see here. What else we got? Okay, that's it. Oh, all right. This has been amazing. Where's it? This is it. This was the big reward we just got. The Knicks, Leon Rose, and Mikal Bridges, and the Nova boys. They came through. We now have probably the number one contender to the Celtics for the NBA crown. Wow. When I would say that in the past sometimes, I thought they could give them the most trouble of any team last season. But the injuries just kept hitting us, kept taking us down a notch. But even with all that, if we had brought the same team back, just ran it back again, I thought we had a good chance. We had a good chance of, pushing Celtics to the brink. But now, by adding Mikal Bridges, for basically all we gave up was Bojan Bogdanovic, a guy who we rented for less than half a season. This is a pretty incredible upgrade right now. Yeah, we're going to miss out on 5 or 6 picks, but we were never going to hold on to those picks ever. It was always going to be for a trade. And the value that Bridges has, the added value that he brings is his synergy with the other guys on this team. They already have played together. They love each other. They have a great chemistry. And he is one of the top, if not, he's one of the very top two-way wings in the NBA. Great defender, and he never gets hurt. So there's not much to not love about this trade. Outstanding. Wow. Woo! Jesus. Oh man, the music was a little loud. Sorry guys. Holy shit. Holy shit. All right, let's see. One more little poll right here. One more little poll. How many wins will Knicks get next season? All right. 60 plus 50 to 59. 41 to 49. All right, go. Seems like a no-brainer, but we'll see. New poll right there. We're done. CIA Mafia in full effect. Need to sign OG. Yeah, we need to sign OG. The Knicks are definitely going to sign OG. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. You can see right here. Woj just tweeted. He said Knicks are still determined to keep OG. I don't know, being free agency. But the ability to re-sign Isaiah Hartenstein becomes more difficult now. But then again, there are other ways to skin a cat. I hate that. I wasn't going to say it, but there's other ways to deal with it. Let's see what we got here. Man. The Nets remain active in trade conversations leading into the draft, per Woj. Brooklyn could still gather more assets before the first round concludes to begin their full-scale rebuilding efforts. Okay. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. And if you missed earlier, this from Keith Smith right here. He says, here's the thing for the Knicks and hard caps and all that. They have one of the best salary cap management teams in the NBA. They'll figure out a way to make it all work. Might cost them another pick or two in subsequent trades, but they will make it work. And I totally believe in that. There were some other tweets here. Let me find these other things about the hard cap. Let's see what else here. Where is it? Fred Katz tweeted something out about this, about the hard cap. I want to find that for you guys. All right, there. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. Okay, good old Fred. Excellent sports reporter. Okay, so he tweeted out a little tidbit. Bogdanovich for Bridges would mean the Knicks taking on money in this trade, which would hard cap them at the first apron. If they found a way to guarantee Diakate and Jeffries and include them in the deal to Brooklyn, they would not be hard capped in the first apron, because he clarifies it down below. To be clear, including those two guys would mean they would not be hard capped at the first apron. They still would be hard capped at the second. So, not sure exactly, what how that ultimately shakes out, but it is interesting. Mike Vork, he then followed up, retweeted and said, I think if they do add Diakate and Jeffries into, then the Knicks are hard capped at the second apron, because second apron teams can't aggregate player contracts together in a trade. So there you go. Yeah, okay. Ooh. Excuse me. Let's see here. All right. 58% think we'll fall into the 50 to 59% range of wins. Excuse me. And a good amount, 42%, think we can win 60 games or more. I think we can win 60 games or more. That's what I think. Oh, I can't do it there. I'll do it over here. Oh, I can't vote here? I can't vote on my own. Oh, well. Note to Cat. Maybe Rose can swing a Cat trade. LOL. Hey, I wouldn't put it past anything. At this point, anything can happen. Anything can happen. One thing that, to talk about Cat, the one thing that we haven't had and we still don't have is a bona fide three-point threat who can stretch the floor, who's 6'10" or taller. We haven't had that since we traded away Porzingis. We need that. I thought when we first brought in Isaiah Hartenstein 2 years ago, he could be that, but he wasn't consistent enough from long range. Thibs didn't trust him to play that way. But it is definitely an element that we desperately need on this team. Because when you look at this roster here, the tallest guy who can shoot a three on this roster is Julius Randle, at 6'9". We need someone at least 6'11", 6'10", who can get that shot off, who's a consistent threat, who can fill in some minutes at the 5, so he can be a stretch 5, and the Knicks can really then match up very, very well with a team like the Celtics. And then you still have the versatility. If Mitch is on the roster, when you go up against a team like the Sixers, who, Embiid is a beast, it's tough to handle, but Mitch is the one center who can really give Embiid some fits, some trouble. So in that respect, I would like, and so Cat would fill that. He definitely would fill that role. But at this point, not so sure about adding him to the squad. Yeah, kind of with you there. Oh, man. It's fabulous. Okay, we're going to sign off soon. Losing my voice. I mean, I talked for 2 hours earlier with Foxy. Now I'm going for another hour here, but this is it, man. The news has been big. I believe it's only the beginning of something. I do believe there are more moves coming for the Knicks outside of signing OG Anunoby. I think that is a given. Knicks are definitely going to sign OG. But in terms of signing Isaiah Hartenstein, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. And then we have the draft, who maybe we can address some of our needs in the draft. There is a guy in the draft who's a big three-point shooter. His name is Quinton Post. Foxy brought him up during the draft live stream. He's a fantastic three-point shooter. And he's 6'11", I believe, 7 feet. And he's a senior, so he's a seasoned player. He could be somebody interesting off the bench. Give you 15 minutes, and then who knows? He could become an outstanding three-point shooter in the NBA at his size. Junior N says, I want to see how many first round picks Rockets give up for Durant. Ooh, that would be interesting. Yeah, see, the West is going to start doing things. This is going to force any team that thought they had a team that could compete, that could get at least to the final, to the semifinals, to the conference semifinals. Any team that thought they could get there, this is going to motivate any of those teams to push themselves to dramatically improve. So teams like Houston, I could see them going for it. They're kind of built to start winning now. What are the Orlando Magic going to do? They were right there. They're an interesting team. They're just really young. So they just needed some experience. What OKC? OKC is probably the team that's going to go after Isaiah Hartenstein, which to me doesn't make that much sense personally. But they do need some rebounding, and he definitely does provide that. But the Magic could use Isaiah Hartenstein. So those two teams are good. And then you got teams like the Pacers. The Pacers, I mean, they made it to the conference finals, even though they got swept and shouldn't have been there at all anyway, because the Knicks should have been able to beat them. Just injuries killed us. But injuries hurt them, and in the conference finals, Halliburton couldn't play. But they're not going to stand still. So teams all around are going to be making moves. And then there's a guy out there by the name of Lauri Markkanen, who, if somehow the Knicks could put together a trade for Lauri Markkanen on this team, it would put so much size out on the perimeter, like really lethal three-point shooting size out on the perimeter. Man, that would be a very, very difficult team to beat. So I like him. And Utah, it does look like they're interested in making trades. Who else? Running out of thoughts. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this, man. This is an amazing moment for Knicks and Knicks history. I think this is basically the next season has begun. And we are now primed to begin this season as one of the favorites, as probably the second favorite to win the NBA championship behind the Boston Celtics from the Eastern Conference. We'll probably get off to a great start at this point because adding a guy like Mikal Bridges, he just, if he's going to fit in seamlessly with Brunson and Hart and Dante DiVincenzo, and OG Anunoby is a plug-and-play type player. And at this point, I just the Mavs also are going to try that. Thanks, Lex, for reminding me. The Mavs are going to try to keep improving, but I don't think they would be able to handle the Knicks, and we will have the size to deal with the Mavs. Beautiful, I love that, man. This is great. I haven't had much reason to smile for quite a while. As you guys all know, I suffered a terrible loss recently. 2 actually, but the most recent one is just a shocker. So this was a great gift to us and to me personally. And I always wanted this guy. This is the guy I always wanted on this team. Perfect modern NBA player. And he never gets hurt. Never gets hurt. Think about that. We just added a guy who's going to play 82 games to our starting unit. That's what we needed. And he can play big minutes. He's going to take the load off Julius and OG. He's going to take the load off Brunson. He's going to share it. He's not a 1A or a 1B, but he is like a perfect number 3 on a championship squad. I mean, we couldn't be in a better place. Could not be in a better place. Oh, no, D-Cools. I don't want the Sixers to go after Markkanen. I want Markkanen to come to New York. But we'll have time to talk about all that. We have to see how the draft shakes out tomorrow. I do believe I will be going live tomorrow at when the draft begins. I'll be going live. And then we pick 24th, 25th, but who knows? The trades could start happening early. And depending on what happens tomorrow, I think there'll be some big trades, not just within the draft. I think there'll be other trades like Paul George moving, possibly Jimmy Butler moving, possibly who else is another big name? Kevin Durant. I mean, he's been rumored out there. Tomorrow could be a monumental day in the NBA in terms of moves and trades. And then there's the actual draft. We're only doing the first round tomorrow, the first year that it's being broken up over 2 days. So then on Thursday, beginning at 4 o'clock, will be the second round. Not sure how long they're going to give each team to pick a player in the second round, but that'll be an interesting news day as well, especially if the Knicks hold on to the 38th pick. And we will have needs to plug in the rotation and the roster. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. And we know that Leon and Brock historically love to flip picks, even to flip them for future picks and drafts, or flip them down. When they see a player of theirs that they have like the 24th pick, they see that they might still be there at the 32nd pick, they'll trade down. For that. So we've seen them do that. So they should be very active. So we'll be live over here on the Knicks-Verse. And then on Sunday, free agency begins at 6 p.m. And now there'll be a flurry of free agent signings. So the news, it's gonna come fast and furious. And by this time next week, the New York Knicks could have an additional 2 or 3 pieces added to this roster. It could be exciting. It could be very exciting. I would love a big point guard. Would definitely love a big point guard. But we have Rokas waiting in Spain. He's already expressed some interest to come to the Knicks if they do give him a roster spot. So we'll see. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Thank you, Lex the Destroyer, best mod around, holding it down for me. Junior N, we got Rich M, we got Gritty, D Grant. Man, who do we got? I don't know what that one is. Luxendary. Earlier we had Jesse Rodriguez, Buzzer Beater. What's up, man? Coach Sire. We had a great crowd here. Man, this is an outstanding monumental night. Monumental. We will remember this for a very, very long time. And we got all next season to enjoy these guys night in, night out. Fantastic. Okay. Again, my name is George. I am into the Knicks-Verse. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet and you've been here before, please subscribe. And we're trying to get to, we want to get to 10,000 subscribers. Also, share this video. Share any of my other videos, especially the draft video. Foxy and I went through and broke down. We looked at potential players that might pop. We went up and down the whole mock board. I thought it turned out to be a really great stream, and Foxy's knowledge, his insight of the college game is tremendous, and players. He's rarely ever wrong when he loves a guy. Rarely ever wrong. And he loves Ryan Dunn for this team. So let's hope that Leon can make that happen as well. That would be a tremendous boost for us. And that's it. It's a great day to be a Knicks fan. It's a great day to be a Villanova Knicks fan. It's a great day for anyone who has been waiting for over a half century to win a championship. The New York Knicks just put themselves in the best position they have had in at least 24 years since the last time they went to the NBA Finals. This is the next best chance right now. So this is a day to celebrate. Did this stream without any cocktails, just some Burger King soda. But I'm going to have a drink now to celebrate. All right, thank you. And I will see you tomorrow. All right. The Knicks-Verse. Let's go. This is fucking awesome.